You know, I would make a pretty good pun to start off this video, but, can't really hand it to you. Greetings, ghosties, from the other side of the screen. My name is Sable, and welcome to another reaction video. That's right, today, if the title does not suggest it at all, we have more death battle, and we're actually really early to this one for once. That's right, I'm talking about the latest death battle between Mahito and Shigaraki. Now, before we go any further, I want to take a moment. Actually, we're gonna leave that up. So we're gonna do something a little different. Leave it up to though. We actually got something to look at. But I'm gonna start off by saying I have hardly any knowledge about any of these characters whatsoever. Okay, so the most that I have between these two is probably Shigaraki because I did watch at least maybe 10, 12 episodes of My Hero Academia. So I watched like the early parts of Shigaraki. I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen. So um, this is going to be very interesting for me. And I might actually like spend more time invested into this. Like I might not be talking as much because I want to listen to what the analyst is saying. But I will still be reading all the black boxes as usual. As always, any fun facts, you can always comment down those below. They really are amazing to read. What I'm going to be doing now going forward, though, is the coolest fun fact or coolest comment I'm actually going to be pinning at the top of the battle. So that's going to be cool. As for who's going to win, honestly, I, from what I've seen in the previews, I feel like Mahito. But at the same time, it's just going to be weird because from what I heard in the preview, the curses can't be affected by physical damage. So would decay still work on a curse, right? I don't know. This was a weird one because I don't know if they're going to pull a similar thing to like Gojo versus Makima, where they're basically treating curses on a similar level to sort of make the battle more compatible. But yeah, definitely think Mahito's gonna win, but who knows? As always, we're gonna be watching the two previews before the battle though. We're gonna take one last moment, see if my answer changes. And yeah, big shout out to if you want or enjoying these videos, be sure to drop a like, and always just be sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit that 500 subscriber mark so we can get some cool new emotes over here on the channel. But yeah, let's just jump into it, see what happens. Oh,
Shigaraki versus Mahito.
The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
dude,
And
this
it's our job to
already
analyze their
looks
weapons, armor,
freaking
and skills
amazing.
to find out who would win a death battle.
Wait a minute. Isn't that the same person who did Bowser versus Eggman? Oh my god, if that is, this battle is gonna be dope.
Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy who loved superheroes.
But sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits.
Real name, oh yeah, this is, yeah. By the way, spoiler warning for anybody who is not familiar with this character. Oh, this is going to get freaking, this is, ooh, y'all want to talk about some dark upbringings. Real name, Tenko Shimura. Wait. Shimura. Wasn't there a hero with the last name Shimura? Nana Shimura? If that character is real, is she related to Shigaraki? Oh my god. That would be amazing. Let's see. AKA symbol of fear, age 21, height 5'9", 175 centimeters. Grand commander of the Paranormal Liberation Front. Suffers from Canitus subita. Oh no, he's a League of Legends and Smash Bros. Player. Oh god, and he lives in a society. God damn it. Shigaraki might actually have this. Listen, you cannot live in a society and not be able to win in a death battle, okay? No, quote me on that. That's a quote.
Limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk.
It wasn't something cool like flight or super strength. In his terror, he accidentally killed his whole family. Well, except for dear old dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko
Hell
wandered
yeah,
the
you
streets
did.
alone, silently begging for someone, anyone, to help him. If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil.
All for one. The greatest super villain in history.
He took Tenko under his wing, feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his League of Villains in destroying hero society.
With that came a new name, Tomura Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It does what it
Oh.
says on the tin. Anything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy.
Okay. So this much I know. I know his power is decay. So applied through hands and feet. Wait, so feet too. So if I'm getting this right, touches with all 5 fingers, right? That applies to decay. It has to be all 5, right? So he can't, like, if he loses a finger, wouldn't that just basically negate his entire power? Citywide range disintegrates physical matter, disintegrates energy attacks. Oh, that might be where they make the battle sort of even compatible. Because if it disintegrates energy, he's made up of cursed energy. Yeah, that makes sense. Fear aura reactive evolution. So what's the citywide range? Is it? Oh, right. In the Hold on, we're gonna get to that. I can touch some more on that once
Pretty
it pops
menacing,
up.
If not for that dorky ass costume. I get it, hands are his thing, but come on, they just look so dumb and fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands from his family that he killed, attached to his face, and explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
Okay.
While his use of decay started off relatively weak, it rapidly increased in power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever he's touching. Anything that touches something he's decaying also decays.
There it is. A chain reaction of decay. So if he touches something with the 5 hands, decay. So if you got that shit, you better fucking isolate. Don't touch anything else. I guess it depends too, because if it does it affect inanimate objects? It's like, what if you have decay and then you touch a building and then that decays and then anything in the building gets decay? Oh my god, it's a decayception. Oh! Ooh! The pain. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. Again, I'm just going off of what my brain is wrinkling right now.
Spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
Thank you for answering that question, Death Battle. They read my mind.
Decay reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training with the greatest supervillain of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission. He must kill his master's rival, the #1 hero, All
All Might.
Only to fall flat on his
One
face.
for all.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well,
Cringe! Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say normie in real life, in front of normies.
but they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki
Yeah.
manifest his dark conviction.
Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well.
These two rivals, the inheritors of their master's blood feud, would push themselves past their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All For One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front.
Gigantomachia?
Thousands of new soldiers for his personal army.
All to impress All For One's personal quack, Dr. Ujiko, who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have
Ooh.
been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Chad. Wait, wasn't Gigantomachia, wasn't that the person that wasn't that the person that All Might fought? Where he took him down with at least one punch in his prime, but then like it took him 43 mighty blows to take him down, or am I thinking of a different character?
Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough to match and surpass even All Might's absurd power.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a cloud that reached 24 miles into the sky. We've calculated that before to be nearly 80 million megatons of TNT, almost as much as the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch laser beams.
He's
Jesus.
tough enough to survive Star and Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch. Now the new name for my penis. Move
What?
over, gigantic Omega Storm. Anyway, it also made a blast so big it showed up against the curvature of the Earth.
Though he might seem invincible, when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became? Oh shit, more hands!
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence,
Ooh.
seemingly oceans of it in an instant, whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to defend himself in close combat.
But that's nothing compared to Ujiko's greatest gift. Shigaraki wanted to be the new All For One, so what better way than the old man's
Oh
quirk?
All for
no.
One's quirk, All for One, allows its user to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All For One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Oh my fucking god. No. This. That right there. That changes everything for me. I don't care what Mahito has, okay? If they're giving him fucking All For One, I'm sure the amount of freaking shit that he probably absorbs, he's gotta have something. Hold on, there's a box right there. Let's read it. So, created from biological quirk factors, vestiges are described as beings, holes, and spirits. It is even remarked that the vestige of All Might within All For One, or One For All, becomes more clear as he gets closer to death. Oh, I didn't even read this
Kinda
part.
like
Hold
a
on.
piece of their soul. They exist in this kind of psychic world in Shigaraki's body, and can even act as a spiritual defense should it be invaded.
And with those vestiges came quirks, like
Oh, here we go. All For One. Some of the ones are air cannon, danger sense, flight, heavy payload, radio waves, reflect, scatter, search, spring-like limbs, super regeneration, telekinesis, vestiges, warping, and many more. Yeah, it's gonna boil down. I feel like it's the same thing as the Ghost Rider Spawn that we just covered, where Spawn has so much, where one character has so much nonsense that they could do that, and then the other person is probably only like what, one or two main things.
Super fast healing, air blasts, radio waves, flight, telekinesis, teleportation of others, and the ability to track foes.
Jesus
You can combine
Christ.
multiple quirks together, like in this big-ass electric Kamehameha.
However, any vestige stolen
Here we go. Shigaraki stole Danger Sense from Deku specifically by stealing the vestige of Hikage Shinomori rather than the quirk factor, proving that the two are linked.
or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All For One's vestige, that means All For One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from
Jeez.
the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tanko's grandmother.
Oh,
I called that shit! Oh, that is good. Oh, that is so cool. Destroyed Deca City, fought Gigantomachia for 1.5 months, caught laser beams, proved the legitimacy of the quirk singularity doomsday theory, could decay all of Japan in a week, far stronger than All Might, defeated Redestro, Stars of Stripe, Eraserhead, Mirko, and Bakugo.
that to mess with All Might. That is some next
Jesus.
level hating right there.
He manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All For One to take full control.
But All For One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone. His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying All For One's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
Oh my god. That I don't know why I'm getting emotional about that. That's so touching. Wow. And now we're gonna get into Mahito, who's basically, if I remember, the manifestation of humans' fear of each other. It's just gonna be a cold-hearted malice that doesn't even have any sort of tragic backstory. Oh God.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Oh,
With
ads.
Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP.
There we go.
Ever since Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood, man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
There
What
we
if
go.
all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming, over time, a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle?
Well, then you'd have the special grade curse with a patch face, Mahito. Oh, I've had people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the deadliest.
There we go. AKA Patchface. A few months old, 5'11", 180 centimeters, unregistered special grade curse. Leader of the disaster curses. Fan of J.R.R. Tolkien. Is that real? Is that a thing? Name means true person. Ah, fuck! He lives in a society too! God damn it! These broken characters living in societies! Darn it!
Beings to ever afflict mankind. He's no mere mortal, though, but a cursed spirit. Innumerable spirits exist, weaker or stronger depending on the amount of anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts, kinda weak. Or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger. Or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
So it follows that mankind's fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed
So hold on. So is Mahito his own special grade of cursed spirit? Because it said like grade 4, grade 3, grade 2, grade 1, and then that's based on like the level of fear that they feel, right? So wouldn't that mean that is he grade 0 or is he like his own special grade?
energy can be used to make spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than any normal human. And it's invisible, making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to physical damage. They may be physically present.
Oh, yeah. So cursed physiology. So you got superhuman physicality, partial invulnerability, invisibility, combat adaptability, as well as the cursed energy that has auto-regenerative reserves, black flash, barrier technique curtain, and binding vows. I'm sure they'll probably explain some of those, hopefully. But here's the thing that I have a question about is, does Shigaraki even have a quirk or trait that would even let him be able to witness or see him? Or is it because Shigaraki's basically on the verge of death anyway, because of the decay and what have you, that he's able to see Mahito?
Present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghost cockroaches for my ex. That's why you need a jujutsu sorcerer to come in and kaizen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and sorcerers have battled each other for
Yeah.
millennia, waging an endless war over the fate of humanity. Almost exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But Mahito is special. You see, most curses are basically dumb animals. But Mahito has so much cursed energy that it gave him sentience.
So he was recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses to wreak havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
And
So what are the main disaster curses? I recognize Jogi. Is that his name? The cursed fire or cursed spirit of fire? Or the disaster curses? Which ones are they? How many are there? 6? Was there 6?
even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust, Mahito possessed philosophy.
Perhaps
Philosophy.
informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also
Ooh.
makes him kind of a goofball. If nothing matters, why not have fun with the slaughter? Really get your steps in. He loves to dig around and toy with your emotions like a cartoon character before slitting your throat.
An appropriate
Ooh.
analogy, considering his curse technique, idle transfiguration.
Transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy, Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen,
Did he just turn into a gummy snake? Okay, so he can basically transmute any thing. Does he have to use all his 5 fingers like Shigaraki, or is it just the one finger? According to Principal Yaga, one can replicate a soul and its information from the information of the body, such as how he created Panda. He created Panda?
The
Like
soul
black and white
the
panda,
body
red
share an
panda?
immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into literally anything he wants.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Idol transfiguration. Soul manipulation. So shapeshifting for offense, reshaping the soul and bodies of opponents. Ugh. Reshaping his soul to fix damage. Cloning, soul multiplicity, body repel, domain expansion, self embodiment of perfection. A 0.2 second variation. Oh, instant body of distorted killing. Enhanced physicality, exoskeleton with blades. I think I remember seeing this in the preview, but with like his domain expansion, I think he can use it as often as he likes, similar to how Gojo can, right?
Like Play-Doh, he can turn his limbs into blades or clubs, grow wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly fatal.
And since he's attacking your soul,
Oh.
those physical wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't directly fatal, the human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
All that with one touch! God, I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito treats humans as effectively disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the better, especially if he gets to break your spirit first
Ooh.
and watch you suffer.
Even more twisted is when he combines two transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity, essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that he repels at an opponent. Ugh.
Mahito is unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different
Jesus.
curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Hold on. What? No. Wait.
He's picked up
What's
a
that
number
do?
of different curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. It's no surprise
Holy
then that
shit!
Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the domain expansion.
Oh shit! More hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection. The
Oh,
ultimate
God.
expression of Mahito's absolute control over his victim's body and soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him,
The king of curses, Sukuna.
which meant Mahito's ability affected both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value
Holy
of human life flew
crap.
directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless. So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally battering him before going in for the kill.
And he's got the strength to do it. Mahito's one of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is exponential.
Fellow disaster curse Jogo
Oh, Jogo, that was his name. Other side material, such as Cursed Clash and Phantom Parade, show that Mahito is relative to his fellow disaster curses in sparring sessions. Gigi also has said that Jogo would die to 5 black flashes from Yuji, and Mahito can survive several from both him and Toto. Yeah.
Was able to
Dude,
summon
this
a
is
massive
so
meteor
cool, though.
capable of reducing the city of Shibuya to ash.
That'd take an energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito can take as good as he can give, especially when, in the throes of struggle against Yuji, he evolved, unlocking a vastly more powerful form, the instant body of distorted killing.
Complete with armored
Oh boy, here we go. What is this? A flesh battle? What the fuck? I swear the end of this battle is just gonna be a big, like, infinite mass of just flesh. Just unflesh. Doing hand things. Just pretend I didn't say that. That sounds bad out of context. Landed a black flash in a microsecond. Transfigured 1,000 humans in Shibuya. Survived withstanding Gojo's unlimited void for 0.2 seconds. That unlimited void was hold on. No, how unlimited void was the was Gojo's domain expansion. But 2.2 seconds, it doesn't sound like a lot, but then when you think about being overwhelmed with limitless amounts of information, like 0.2 seconds still seems crazy. Tanked numerous black flashes from Yuji and Todo, slammed Yuji and cratered the ground, defeated Nanami, Ultimate Mechamaru, Nobara, and Todo.
Skeleton and arm blades. This was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into. A true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve, Yuji won out. In a dog-eat-dog world, there was now a bigger wolf.
So he tucked tail and ran away like a bitch. And what do you know? Life suddenly became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
All that gleeful nihilism, just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
Okay, listen. Here's a question. I know it has nothing to do with the battle itself, but at the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, is there an arc at that point where then Yuji becomes the main bad guy? When he like becomes like Sukuna or something? Again, I'm just going off of like no information at all off of Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm just kind of curious after seeing that ending of that.
Hey, do you see that join button? Yeah,
Yes, I
that
do.
one. That's your ticket to being a Death Battle champion.
Woo!
As a champion, you get all sorts of exclusive Death Battle content, like extra videos, live chats, and
Oh!
I have done that before, actually. It's really nice. Okay. Before we do battle time. Oh, what happened there? My arm just like broke. I'm doing idol transfiguration things. Behold my hand. Okay, final remarks. I feel like I don't know, like I feel like Shigaraki might have this, but at the same time, I don't know, cause like Mahito, I guess if Shigaraki can decay Mahito, but then Mahito can he regenerate basically from the cursed energy? I don't know. I'm gonna vote Shigaraki, actually. Here we go. Oh! Oh! Oh, we're off to a good start! No, not his head! Oh!
precious parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring them your head instead?
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition, Sickum.
Oh! That's so cool! No, no move! Oh! That's not gonna be enough.
Could you actually just say that? God, how lame!
Oh my god! Oh, there we go.
Over. Did I get the part?
Did I get the parts?
Decay!
Oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't think if he's gonna be fiddling around like this, it's gonna be hard to even hit him. Oh, was that the 5?
That all you got?
There we go.
Domain expansion.
Oh, no, 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 no. Here we go.
I can read your soul. You're just a scared little boy whose daddy was mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Holy shit.
Hands off my masterpiece.
I felt your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way. Totally random. I hate them for a reason.
Holy shit.
You grow up.
Oh my god.
Say, Wiz, like a bitch.
With their complex power sets, this match was a puzzle to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical stats, survivability, and their powers.
But
I didn't say a single word there in that entire fight. Holy fuck. That was epic, bro. Holy shit. That's crazy, though.
first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's
Yep.
an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the Surge quirk,
Here we go. Curses are invisible due to existing on a different spectrum of light than what normal people can see. Extrasensory abilities like Shigaraki's that do not rely on visible light would be unimpeded. I knew it. I knew there was some sort of ability or quirk that he had that would let him see the
Shigaraki would
curses.
have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite
Physical stats. Mahito continuously scaled to Mayans Yozuro's construction techniques due to his status as a special grade disaster curse, but these still would not surpass Shigaraki's strength.
Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki's scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably millions of times stronger.
He was faster too, considering he could react.
Oh god, they're getting a lot of black boxes out here now. Mahito could potentially scale to relativistic and light speed feats from Jujutsu Kaisen's final arc due to keeping up with Todo, but these still would not surpass Shigaraki's speed.
React to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster. Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new.
Oh god, another black box. Yo, they're spawning them out as fast as, these characters are spawning out hands. Hey, I mean, we gotta hand out these boxes, am I right? I'm sorry, that was bad. Idle Transfiguration's unique ability to nullify generation, like reverse curse technique, is predicated on it damaging souls. Mahito cannot ascertain and directly target the super regenerative vestige, therefore he cannot stop Shigaraki from healing bodily injuries. Oh! Hey. Idle Transfiguration's unique ability to nullify regeneration, like reversed curse technique, is predicated on it damaging souls. Cannot ascertain and directly targeted. Well, hold on, because the vestiges are souls anyway. But the thing is, wouldn't he be able to destroy at least some vestige, not being able to specifically target that? But yeah, because even then he can't really ascertain, this is, this here is the vestige that's giving him the healing, so I'm gonna target this one. But if you're breaking a soul anyway, you'd be losing that part, right? But couldn't he just get regenerative power anyway from the souls?
Flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out. Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via Idle Transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with Idle Transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the...
Right there. I said it. As soon as they mentioned One For All, or All For One, I knew it. It's the same thing. The character with the most expansive list of silly shenanigans is usually the one that wins.
Years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean Idle Transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges...
Here we go. Shigaraki survived multiple one-for-all transfer attacks from Deku, which directly attack the soul and reflect identical damage on the body, just like Idle Transfiguration. But he evolved to counter these punches automatically. Dude, what the
shield
fuck?
From the effects of Idle Transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against...
Oh my god, I can't believe how much I am nailing here. I called that. Again, he can't target specific spirits, but every time he kills a vestige, he would lose a quirk, but he's got so many over the span of One For All that it's basically, it doesn't matter. Oh, you're losing one additional quirk? Okay. I mean, he's still got Decay. So at the very least, if he just had his decay, like what? He's I feel like he'd still be able to win. I mean, the chances are like slim, but yeah. Even if Shigaraki could not target spiritual matter, Nanami states that the curse like Mahito would still die after expending all of the cursed energy. Given Shigaraki's massive physical advantages, arsenal of abilities improving 45 days stamina versus Gigantomachia, he easily wins the war of
It's
attrition.
Shigaraki's primary quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again,
Yep.
vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact, sorcerers
Yeah, see, I exactly what I said. Decay could destroy its spiritual matter, but again, if he loses all of his other quirks, like, would he even be able to survive Mahito's onslaught with just decay? Shigaraki's soul is additionally shielded by a barrier of pure hatred, distinct from his soul itself. Idel Transfiguration has been blocked by Nanami's cursed energy, which is born from negative emotions like hatred.
that couldn't naturally target the soul were able to fight him on even footing. No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him.
Oh my god, another box! Idel Transfiguration allowed Mahito to separate body or parts of his body affected by decay before its effects spread. However, with Shigaraki's overwhelming speed advantage, he could not do so forever. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Like everyone else,
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge. It was a unique duel to the death, but
Okay, so Shigaraki, TLDR. Far stronger, larger arsenal and array of power. Vestiges protects from idle transfiguration, though this would remove one of his quirks and an inferior regeneration. While Mahito has regeneration made him nearly impossible to kill, though decay could target his soul and kill him, far slower and weaker, and couldn't individually target Shigaraki's soul.
Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable
Yeah.
powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
nothing else to say. You really gotta hand it to Shigaraki.
The winner is Tomura Shigaraki.
Dude.
Next time on Death Battle.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go.
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death
Doom
Battle.
Chi
Thanks for watching.
rematch. Let's go. Oh. I gotta say, I was really impressed with this battle. I gotta say, these are one of my favorite types of battles right here. Is the ones where the powers are like so like out there, you know, so unique. Like sure, you could like do a battle with like, oh, these guys use ice powers. Oh, these guys use lightning powers. Like no, the fact that you have this kind of flesh and body manipulation and soul damage, this is dope. Okay? Listen, I'm gonna have to go and watch Jujutsu Kaisen. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. Again, if you liked what you saw, consider hitting the like button. If for some reason you didn't though, hit the dislike. It is kind of contradictory, but it gives me an idea on what you guys want to see here on the channel and what you don't. As always, if you have fun facts or got some advice for me, comment that down below. And if you want to see more, again, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're trying to hit that 500 subscriber mark so we can get some cool emotes that you can use in the comments and the live chats because I stream over here now. But yes, thank you once again, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye!